Hello, science enthusiasts, pet cats, and anyone using this video to procrastinate on their taxes. Today, we'll be uncovering a hypothetical so strange, so absurd, that it'll make your cat look like a quantum physicist. We all take gravity for granted, but what if it took a day off, took a left turn, and started working sideways? Imagine you're just waking up, yawning, stretching, and then bam! You're ripped from your cozy bed and hurled into the west wall. Don't worry, your breakfast isn't spared either. Your Cheerios orbit your coffee mug like tiny whole-grain planets, and your mom, in her dressing gown, is stuck to the side of the refrigerator, complaining about the laws of physics having no respect for her morning routine. Welcome to a world where gravity works sideways. Now let's start with sleeping arrangements. Beds would have to be nailed to walls and forget about comfy mattresses. Why? Well, in this world, everyone's an astronaut. We'd sleep strapped down to prevent midnight collisions. And let's not even get started on the horrors of sleepwalking, where a midnight stroll could result in a rapid tour around your city block. In this sideways gravity-filled world, architecture and transport would need a major rethink. Stairs become death slides, and elevators? More like horizontal aiders. Buildings will act as massive compasses pointing east or west, and forget about your car. Your morning commute would consist of clinging to the sidewalk, dodging rogue tumbleweeds and runaway mailboxes. But hey, at least traffic jams would be a thing of the past, right? Nature would become a whole new ball game, or should we say, a whole new dodecahedron game. Trees would be horizontal, growing in the direction of the new down. Birds would have the time of their lives, while cats, ironically, would struggle with this cataclysmic change. And rain? That'd be a sideways nightmare coming at you like a wet slap in the face. Nature would become a whole new ball game, or should we say, a whole new dodecahedron game. Trees would be horizontal, growing in the direction of the new down. Birds would have the time of their lives, while cats, ironically, would struggle with this cataclysmic change. And rain? That'd be a sideways nightmare coming at you like a wet slap in the face. From a physical standpoint, we should consider the new challenges. Your neck and back muscles would become incredibly strong from holding your body upright. Going to the gym would be an adventure, with treadmills becoming human catapults and weightlifting transforming into an extreme wall-climbing event. But hey, maybe we'd all finally get those six-pack abs we've been dreaming of. Our last pit stop in this sideways reality brings us to the challenges of eating and drinking. Imagine trying to pour coffee into your mug. You'd better be a fan of latte foam, 'cause that's all you'll be getting. Drinking from a glass? A whole new skill set. And forks? Utterly useless. You'd need to master the art of catching your floating food in mid-air, like some sort of human chameleon hybrid. Adjusting to this new gravity-induced reality would pose a plethora of challenges. Imagine trying to sit down for dinner. Your dining table would be a vertical plane, and you'd have to eat off of your plate like a bird pecks at a tree. Not to mention, soup would be a disaster waiting to happen. Instead of slurping it from a bowl, you'd need to catch it mid-air as it shoots off sideways. Drinking a glass of water? You'd have to rediscover the art of sipping, as gravity would pull the water sideways. In the blink of an eye, hydration turns into a game of precision and timing. And let's not forget about the nightmare that would be using the bathroom. Without going into too much graphic detail, suffice it to say that plumbing systems would require a radical overhaul. Fashion would take on a whole new dimension in a sideways gravity world. Shoes designed for lateral grip would become the norm, while belts would evolve to serve more as harnesses than waist cinchers. Forget about flowing dresses and loose clothing. Everything would need to be aerodynamic to avoid acting as a sail in this new gravitational wind. Jewelry, especially dangling earrings, would turn into potential hazards, swinging uncontrollably into your face. Education would also see a dramatic shift, desks mounted on walls and students gliding with grips. Education would also see a dramatic shift. Traditional classroom layouts would become obsolete. Desks would be mounted on walls, whiteboards would hang like vertical cinema screens, and forget about raising your hand to answer a question. It'd be more like extending it out sideways. Physical education classes, too, would have to be entirely rethought. Soccer would look more like wall ball, and basketball hoops would need to be repositioned on a vertical plane. Entertainment and leisure activities would be in for a wild ride. Parks would look like vertical forests, with swings and slides propelling people sideways. Picnics would be a balancing act of epic proportions, with food and beverages threatening to fly off sideways at any moment. Movie theaters would resemble vertical auditoriums, with attendees strapped into their seats to prevent them from falling sideways. And roller coasters? They would be more thrilling and terrifying than ever before, with drops and loops taking on a whole new meaning. In the face of such drastic changes, the human race would have to adapt and evolve. It's likely that over time, our bodies would develop stronger lateral muscles to counteract the sideways pull of gravity. We'd also likely see changes in our visual perception and spatial awareness, as navigating through a sideways world would require a different set of skills and senses. Despite the initial chaos, humans, with their incredible resilience and adaptability, would eventually learn to thrive in this sideways reality. Transportation would need a comprehensive reimagining in the world of sideways gravity. Traditional vehicles would be functionally obsolete, cars would be useless as they would slide sideways, and planes would have a hard time maintaining altitude. We would have to invent new forms of transportation that could move against the pull of gravity. Perhaps some sort of magnetic vehicle that repels the Earth's gravitational field, allowing us to move freely in what was once considered up. Public transportation would become a thrilling, yet potentially hazardous experience. Trains would need to be redesigned to travel on vertical tracks. And buses? They would need to be outfitted with special harnesses to keep passengers secure, lest they tumble around the interior every time the bus made a stop. Traveling by foot would evolve into a sort of sideways climbing, with people latching onto poles and other stationary objects to prevent themselves from sliding uncontrollably. Staircases would be replaced with ladder-like structures, and sidewalks would be more akin to rock-climbing walls. Sports would be absolutely revolutionized in a sideways gravity world. Some sports would become more challenging, while others might become easier or completely obsolete. Baseballs and footballs would curve dramatically in flight, making long passes and home runs nearly impossible. Basketball players wouldn't just need to be tall, they'd need to be strong enough to resist the pull of gravity to make a shot. Recreational activities would also see a stark transformation. Swimming would resemble floating in space, with water being pulled sideways, creating a surreal, disorienting experience. Hiking would be more like a horizontal rock climb, and picnics in the park? They would turn into a hilarious mess with picnic blankets and food items sliding around. The world of architecture and housing would undergo a radical shift. Buildings would need to be designed and built to withstand the lateral pull of gravity. This could potentially lead to a world filled with unique, abstract structures, as architects experiment with new forms and materials to keep structures stable. Inside the home, furniture would need to be secured to prevent it from sliding around. Beds would be more like hammocks, suspended to prevent sleepers from falling out. Shelves would need to be enclosed to prevent items from falling off, and windows would likely need to be reinforced to withstand the constant sideways pressure. In this strange new world, the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and the mundane turns into an adventure. Life as we know it would be entirely different, but humans are adaptable creatures. Who knows? we might just find a way to thrive in a sideways gravity world. The architecture and construction industry would undergo an unprecedented transformation in a world where gravity works sideways. Buildings would no longer be designed with traditional verticality in mind, but rather they would be horizontally oriented edifices. Skyscrapers would become sky bridges, stretching outwards rather than upwards. Foundations of these buildings would need to be incredibly strong to support the sideways pull of gravity. Architects and engineers would have to fundamentally rethink the principles of design to ensure stability and safety. Elevators would function more like horizontal trams, transporting passengers from one end of the building to the other. Staircases would become a thing of the past, replaced by ramps and slides to navigate the horizontal plane. In addition, interior design would also need to adapt to the new gravitational reality. Furniture would be affixed to walls, and rooms would need to be designed with sideways mobility in mind. Beds would be mounted on walls with harnesses to keep people secure while they sleep. Kitchens would be a whole new ballgame, with appliances and storage units designed to work sideways. Construction workers, too, would need to learn new techniques and safety measures to build in this sideways world. Tools and equipment would need to be redesigned to function effectively under the pull of sideways gravity. For instance, cranes would need to operate horizontally, and scaffolding would need to be sturdy enough to withstand gravitational pull from the side. From the blueprint phase to the final construction, every aspect of building design and execution would have to be reimagined. The aesthetics of our cities and homes would be fundamentally different, reflecting the unique challenges and opportunities presented by sideways gravity. Despite the challenges, a sideways world may also present opportunities for innovative design solutions that we can't even begin to imagine in our current vertically oriented world. The architecture and construction industry would undergo an unprecedented transformation in a world where gravity works sideways. Buildings would no longer be designed with traditional verticality in mind, but rather they would be horizontally oriented edifices. Skyscrapers would become sky bridges, stretching outwards rather than upwards. Foundations of these buildings would need to be incredibly strong to support the sideways pull of gravity. Architects and engineers would have to fundamentally rethink the principles of design to ensure stability and safety. Elevators would function more like horizontal trams, transporting passengers from one end of the building to the other. Staircases would become a thing of the past, replaced by ramps and slides to navigate the horizontal plane. In addition, interior design would also need to adapt to the new gravitational reality. Furniture would be affixed to walls, and rooms would need to be designed with sideways mobility in mind. Beds would be mounted on walls with harnesses to keep people secure while they sleep. Kitchens would be a whole new ball game, with appliances and storage units designed to work sideways. Construction workers, too, would need to learn new techniques and safety measures to build in this sideways world. Tools and equipment would need to be redesigned to function effectively under the pull of sideways gravity. For instance, cranes would need to operate horizontally, and scaffolding would need to be sturdy enough to withstand gravitational pull from the side. From the blueprint phase to the final construction, every aspect of building design and execution would have to be reimagined. The aesthetics of our cities and homes would be fundamentally different, reflecting the unique challenges and opportunities presented by sideways gravity. Despite the challenges, a sideways world may also present opportunities for innovative design solutions that we can't even begin to imagine in our current vertically oriented world. Surprisingly, no. It seems Earth's rotation, stubbornly clinging to the old ways, would gradually realign gravity until it pointed down again. So, despite the initial chaos, the universe always self-corrects in the end. So, there you have it. A world where gravity works sideways. A world where your mom becomes a wall-climbing superhero, Your cat is terrified of birds, and your morning coffee is a creamy foam battle. But would this sideways gravity world be our new reality forever? Surprisingly, no. It seems Earth's rotation, stubbornly clinging to the old ways, would gradually realign gravity until it pointed down again. So, despite the initial chaos, the universe always self-corrects in the end. So enjoy your normal gravity while it lasts, and don't forget to throw a sideways glance at your mom, your cat, or that pesky tax return every once in a while. And before you're catapulted away by your suddenly rebellious gravity, gently float towards that subscribe button and press it. It's the one thing guaranteed not to be affected by hypothetical changes in gravity. Until next time, stay safe, secure, and unsideways.